Hi, Scotty. How are you doing?
I'm doing so good, Rabbi. Thank you.
Not a problem at all. Just a moment. Let me open the video. Good to see you. Hey.
Forward to the class.
Sorry?
I'm looking forward to the class today.
Be prepared because we're going to break a lot of myth inside.
All right. All right.
No, don't move away. Are you trying?
What we're trying to do every time. Yes. Hi,
Hello
Cole.
there, everybody.
Hi. Hi, Cole. Good to see you also.
You see us?
Yes, I see.
Okay.
Please.
Okay. Is Don on the air?
Dan is not here tonight. No, Dan
Oh, that's right. He said he wouldn't be here. Oh, okay. Let's say that. See, we got that here. Let's see. That's better light.
I'm muting everybody, okay? Muting people, so we will be able to speak. Lydia, this is your name, Licia K?
Yes, Rabbi.
From where are you? From South Africa?
No. I'm in Nairobi. I'm in Kenya. Actually, Lydia, that is my wife. I'm using my wife's phone, Rabbi. My name is Gracie. I'm in Nairobi. I'm in Kenya.
Okay. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Rabbi. I've been enjoying your teaching. Really. Very interesting, Rabbi.
Thank you. We are trying. Everything is okay. We're trying. We're trying the best. Madison Menta also. Show yourself with Yitzhak, for a moment. Let's see you. Yay, good to see you. Where's Yitzhak? Let's see. He grew up a bit. Yitzhak, good to see you also. He's all the time joining with us. Very good. Okay, we have another 2 minutes. We'll give people to come inside. We are also broadcasting on YouTube, so it's okay. I hope that everything is clear enough, like that. Anna, thank you very much for everything that you are helping us in the Noahide World Center. We saw that. You can hear me, Anna? Anna? Yeah, I can see.
Yes.
So thank you very much. I saw that you're helping us a lot, and we really appreciate that.
What help? What did I do?
I won't say to everybody here, but thank you for the things that you did. Okay. Thank you. Who is Sibulka? Sibulka, can you show your face? Let's see who it is. Here we lost. We can see only. Okay. Netzach. Can we call you Netzach, please? We can't hear you. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. You can call me Netzach. It's okay. No problem.
The word Netzach is very important in the Hebrew language. You know that it is related to Moses, and it's really one of the most important words in Hebrew. It's not only victory, but it's also it's victory for everything. Also victory of the time along the history, and this is why the Hebrew nation is also being connected to the Netzach.
Yeah.
To this,
is it also one of the Sephirot, if I'm not mistaken?
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Scotty, you're managing to double yourself twice. You see, once in. You see, we can see you in two eyes, Twice we can see.
It's not accident. I'm getting rid of the other one.
Everything is okay. Hi, Tony. Good to see you also. Good evening, everybody. Good evening from Israel. We don't have tonight the music of Dan, but we are going to start to discuss things. And I promised Dan that this weekend, or this tonight, what we're going to speak is going to be something that we spoke already, but so you won't miss something very new. But most of you didn't hear that, and those who heard that can go back and learn it again, like we're doing also every year. We're learning things, we're repeating things, and then we're learning new things when we're learning those things. So, hi Angelica, good to see you. So, also, with your permission, I'm going to share the screen and to start teaching, and I'm saying in advance that we're going to break some myth tonight. So be careful, like usual, while we're doing those things. And those are different than different thoughts than the usual one. And I will say something that I won't. It's not good, but I'm going to ask a question without answering. But it's not related to the Bible. It's more related to common sense. I will say it like that. You know that today is a Mother Day, so thank you, my mother, that is also here with us. The Mother Day is very important for the. Good to see you also, Imula. The Mother Day is something very important for the modern world. And the question is why? Why do we need to notice or to say or to state that there is a Mother Day? In the Hebrew nation, we have this thing that you need to acknowledge and you need to respect your father and your mother all the time, not only on a specific day. So, but this I will give only with a question. I won't answer that. It's okay. I'm going to share the screen and we're going to dive inside straight ahead and to start to learn things in close this. Thank you. Hope we are still on. Yes, we are still. Okay, can everybody see my screen? Let's do presentation. Full presentation we will do with this. Okay, tonight we're going to speak about the tree of knowledge and the tree of life, and or what is happening between them and what can we learn from these two trees. As we said, we're going to break myths. So if it's okay, Scotty, I'm going to ask you to read the Bible. You can see the screen, right? You can see the screen, everything is clear. I'm going to ask you please to read those verses in Genesis 2, and let's start. So please, Scotty, please read them.
You want me to begin there with verse 8 that you have, chapter
Yes.
2, verse 8?
It's also verse 17. Read them slowly and clear. Everybody will hear them, and we can start discuss what's happening here in those verses. Yes.
Okay. Verse 8, chapter 2. And the Lord God planted a garden in Eden from the east, and he placed there the man whom he had formed. And the Lord God caused to sprout from the ground every tree pleasant to see and good to eat. And the tree of life is in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Now the Lord God took the man, and he placed him in the Garden of Eden to work it and to guard it. 16. And the Lord God commanded man, saying, of every tree of the garden you may freely eat, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat of it. For on the day that you eat thereof, you shall surely die.
So we all know those verses. This is the verses of the tree of life, the tree of evil. But let's start to dive inside and to learn a bit in more profound way what exactly is being said here. And the first thing that we can see is that when God is starting the relationship that he has with man, he is speaking with him. And from here we can learn that the normal man speaks with God, what we call prophecy. This is the beginning of the history. The beginning of the history is that God is commanding men, he's speaking with men. Unfortunately, in the last 24 centuries, we don't have prophecy. And I can say it's like someone who, unfortunately, was born without a hand. So he's lacking something. You can't do anything. You can say whatever you want to say. At the end of the days, he is lacking something, or God forbid, someone was grown up and his mother or father wasn't in they died before when he was very young. He is lacking something. We are today, the humanity today, we are lacking the main thing that we need to have in our life. This, that we don't have prophecy. We need to acknowledge that. This is the first point I want to mention. Let's continue on, okay? The second thing is, after we started to understand this, I will say, recognition of the prophecy, the second thing is I have a question. What is our life purpose? Now, cats or dogs are not asking themselves this question, but man is asking himself, what exactly? Because we have recognition, because we have some sort of consciousness, we asking ourselves, what is my life purpose? What do I need to do in my life? And God is giving us an answer. He's giving us a very interesting answer. What is God's answer? What is God's answer? It's written down. God's answer is it's something that we never thought about, okay? God's answer that we need to eat, and a lot of eating. Freely eat. In the Hebrew language, it's written down here, in red, achol tochel. It's emphasizing you need to eat a lot. And this is the second myth I'm going to break down. While animals eat for living, people live for eating. This is what's written down here. God is saying to us, you know why you are living? Because you need to eat. I never thought about this like that. It's true that 2 weeks ago, someone sent me a message. He's a Christian person, and he is very tight with his Christianity. And he likes very much the Jewish people, and he's doing a lot of very, very good things for the Hebrew nation. And I really admire him. And he said to me, look, you see, Abraham is speaking about eating, and also in the Gospel, in the beginning of the New Testament, it starts with eating. And I wanted to tell him that we're speaking about a different understanding of this eating. But first of all, we need to understand the beginning of the Bible. God is speaking with someone, with men, and he's telling him, you know what the purpose in life for your life? Eat. You need to eat. So we need to understand what is this eating, okay? And again, I'm saying animals are eating for living, but we are living, people are living for eating. We need to ask ourselves, what happened that God decided to build us in this situation that we are sitting down for 2 or 3 times a day and sitting down and eating? Why isn't it that God organized in our life that 3 times a day we are standing upside down? Why not? Maybe this why God organized that we need to eat 3 times a day, and then we need also to go to the toilets. And why is this system is working? What's happening here? Why God is asking us to eat, and what is the meaning of this eating? So we need to, and again, and I'm emphasizing that God is saying to us, you need to eat everything from every tree. Because if I will ask all of you, you will tell me, no, but the tree of life, don't eat from it. I don't know. In this verse, I learned that we need to eat everything. It says here, of every tree of the garden, you may freely eat and eat, more and more and more, as much as you can eat. So we need to understand the meaning of eating. First of all, this is the first thing that we need to do. What is the meaning of eating? For that, just a moment, I will put this a bit down because it's bothering me. I know that you don't see that, but I do see that. So for that, we need to have, to understand the 5 stages in our world that was being created by God, okay? And this we learned in chapter 1. We see that there is, first of all, the earth, the stones, the metals, the elements, all of those things. This is the first thing that we have, the first stage that we have, what we call earth. By the way, the word earth is coming from the Hebrew word eretz. It's the same word. And there is a dictionary in the United States that there are 20,000 words that are coming from the Hebrew language. Okay, 20,000 English words that are coming from the, I will give another example. The word evil. Evil is badness, something bad, doing something bad to someone else, the evil thing. And it's coming from the Hebrew word avel. Avel is when someone is doing something bad, and then he needs to bring also sacrifice and to repeat himself, to do back repeatedness. So this is another word. It's a lot of words are coming from the Hebrew. Also the word earth is coming from the Hebrew. So this is the first stage. The second stage that we have is all the things that are starting to grow, okay? The plants. But the plants are only standing in one place in the garden. They're not moving from one place to another. So let's move to another stage. The animated beings, all the animals, not only growing up, but they are also moving, okay? The next stage. Then we have the intellect. Well, with men have also the intellect. Do we have a higher degree? Do we have another level? So usually the philosophers are saying that the higher level is the most smart people in this world. But this is only a difference of an IQ. So someone have only 80 IQ, the other one have 100 IQ, and the most smartest people have 160 IQ. But it's not really a big difference. It's not like the difference between the plants and the animals or between the earth and the plants. I'm looking to another degree. And the next degree basically is and I won't go inside too much to the Hebrew, maybe I will explain a bit. We need also to understand that in the Hebrew language, the inanimate is being called domem. Domem is silent in Hebrew. It's the same word, to be silent or to be inanimate. The plants, okay, is already being called siach. Siach is a bit of speaking, a bit of speaking. The animated being is being called yechaveh da'at. Yechaveh is a bit more speaking. And the intellect, man, is being called someone who knows how to speak. Man knows how to speak. I'm speaking now, and you are catching the ideas that I'm speaking. Okay, now we're starting to speak or to understand what is eating. Eating, it might be not only food that I'm adjusting inside me, but also ideas that I'm putting inside me. Starting to understand this thing. And this is the part of, I will say, man. Man is not only eating food, and what's happening with the food is becoming part of him in his body, but man is also within the intellect side, managing to adjust things and to understand them, okay? And we call this also, okay, what we said, people need to eat everything. We call this content, okay? What is content? How do we call this thing, for example? Table of content, right? This page is a table of content of this book. Why do we call this table of content? It's like the table with the food, because every idea that I'm putting inside me, this is something that is growing me up. I'm growing up, I'm learning more, I'm adjusting, I'm expanding my ideas, my brain, my intellect, everything that I'm learning more and more. This is what we're saying. And this is what we said. People live for eating everything. What do we mean? We mean that God is asking us, don't forget that we spoke about the Garden of Eden, and where people are going to the Garden of Eden, when someone is dying, this is when we're saying he went to heaven. Heaven is not something where you eat the vegetables. Eden is the place where you are understanding things in a higher level. And God is saying to us, listen, I built up this world in a smart way. Learn everything. Don't give up on anything. You need to learn, you need to adjust, you need to understand everything in this world. Learn, eat everything, and understand it. Today, with the universities and everything else, we can see that we came to this level, or we're becoming more and more to this level. And now we will go inside to a much deeper, I will say, problem. And please, Scotty, again, read verse number 9.
And the Lord God caused to sprout from the ground every tree pleasant to see and good to eat, and the tree of life in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
I'm asking all of you, how many trees do we have? How many kinds of trees do we have in the garden? Everybody can open the microphone and say to me, how many trees, how many kinds of trees do we have in the garden?
There it's specifying two.
Two.
People, are you sure we have only two?
Yeah.
I'm thinking a whole bunch, like, apples, pears, because it says the Lord God caused to sprout from the ground every tree.
Oh, so we're starting to have a debate here. So please, can you have a conclusion? How many kinds of trees do we have here?
3.
Who says 3? 3. Explanation, please.
The kind that you eat, and the kind of knowledge, and the kind of good and evil.
Wow, amazing. Tony, right?
Yes, sir.
Tony, I have a very good message for you, and tomorrow morning you will have the certificate that you spoke about, okay? I spoke with Rabbi Shaki, we finalized it. Okay, so this is, by the way.
Thank you.
We have, Tony, you know what? You sneaked inside and you saw my slides, okay? It's true. Tony's saying a true thing. We have 3 things, 3 kinds of trees. We have every tree pleasant to see and too good to eat. And we have the tree of life in the midst of the garden. We have the tree of knowledge. So we have 3 kinds of trees. Very good. And every tree that is pleasant to see and good to eat, this is what we said, the world, to understand the world, it's pleasant to see and it's good to eat. I think that we see that also every morning with Terry, I think, that he's sending us very nice photos every morning from his balcony, The world is pleasant to see and good to eat. And we have also tree of life and the tree of knowledge. And where exactly the tree of life is sitting? Tree of life, where it is sitting? It's sitting in the midst of the garden. What is the midst of the garden? The middle of the garden. Now, in the Hebrew language, it's very exact. There's only one specific point that you can say that this is the middle of the garden. One specific point. Remember that. So we have 3 kinds of trees. One is spread all over the garden, and it's very pleasant to see and good to eat. The other one is the midst of the garden. This is the tree of life. And the last one is the tree of knowledge. We don't know exactly where it is. Let's continue on. Let's go to the next level. God is saying very simple, very clear. Please read this verse number 17.
But of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, you shall not eat of it, for on the day that you eat thereof, you shall surely die.
Okay, so we have in verse number 16, God is saying to us, of every tree of the garden you may freely eat. And then God is contradicting himself and he's saying, no. But from the tree of knowledge, even though in verse number 16, I said to you, eat from everything. In verse number 17, I'm saying to you, there is someone I don't want you to eat from, the tree of knowledge. What happened there? It's some sort of a contradiction. In verse number 16, I understand that I need also to eat from the tree of knowledge. In verse number 17, suddenly, God is saying to me, don't eat from the tree of knowledge. If we will look on this clearly, you will see, you know what, I will speak about this later on. Let's continue on, okay? Now, I want to surprise us all, okay? after the woman and Adam and Eve and the snake, everything, they are eating from the tree of the knowledge. Just before they're eating from the tree of knowledge, the woman is saying a very interesting sentence about the tree of knowledge and where exactly it's sitting down. But of the true fruit of the tree that in the midst of the garden, God said, you shall not eat of it and you shall not touch it, lest you die. Now, if I remember correctly, we have only one tree in the midst of the garden. We can't have two trees in the midst of the garden. And a moment ago, we said that you are not allowed to eat only from the tree of knowledge. And we said that the tree of life in the midst of the garden. So what exactly is the woman saying here? I want to surprise you all and to say that it's the same tree. Again, I'm going to say this. The tree of life and the tree of knowledge, most probably it's the same tree. You with me, people? Listen good. We thought that we have three, no? Now suddenly we see that the tree of life and the tree of knowledge that are very, very important for God here in some way, both of them in the midst of the garden. So it's the same tree. So we need to understand what's happening here. How come we're calling it in two different names and we're saying from one side that we are allowed to eat everything, and then we're saying, but don't eat from this tree? What exactly is happening here?
Does the taking of fruit from the tree represent taking action? I've always wondered that. Whenever you see anywhere in the Bible and it says taking fruit, does it mean taking action or doing something?
You are starting to say something that it is very important what you're saying, and you're starting to knock it down. We'll say it like that. It's not. We need to go a bit more inside, okay, to explain this. But you are starting to say the things that we're starting to understand. Yeah. So let's go, step by step to understand this truly to the bottom of the situation. Okay. Okay. As I said before, the tree of knowledge and the tree of life is probably both of them in the midst of the garden, and both of them are the same tree. And here we're going back to the question that I asked before, and it's related to the thing that is connected to our conscience and to our mind. And it's also related to the thing that we said that we need to eat everything. And the question is, what exactly the purpose where we're taking actions of this knowledge? So let's go, the attitude, the approach. What exactly the attitude that we have? And here, this is one of the most important points that the person, that people can do and the animals can't do. We have an attitude, we have an approach. We can do actions with, and this is how it's also related to what you said, Peter. We can do action with one attitude, and we can do the same action with a different approach. And if we are putting different approach or attitude in the action that we are doing, this is exactly where things have different values in the actions that we are doing. It's a different value. So you can do a mistake, and this is one thing. And when you're doing a mistake, nobody will be very angry at you because you didn't do it on purpose. And if you're doing, let's say, for example, God forbid, something bad for someone else, but you're doing it with all of your heart, with the approach of doing something bad for him, this is something very hard. The animals are doing things without any attitude. They are robots. Only the person, only people have some sort of an attitude and approach. And this attitude and approach is doing reflection and what exactly we did. Okay? And the meeting with the nature, the world of the nature, everything that exists, it's a closed meeting with a world of laws that has an end. It's a circle. We can't go out from it, from this thing. But when we are meeting with God or with the free will that we have inside, that is some sort of a spark of God, with the soul that we are inside, this is where we can have something that is going very high level, very much broader, much higher, without any limitation. Okay, it's some sort of thing that you can grow to the behind the glass ceiling that we have in our life. Okay, it's some sort of a connection with the infinite, with God, and those are two things that are related with us. Now, when I'm learning something, I can be in one attitude or in another attitude. I know a professor, with all of the things that we are doing, with the Noahide people, a professor in physics, that through the physics, he found God, and he found a relationship with the Hebrew nation, and he became a Noahide, and he is today lecturing in one of the universities in Chicago, that with the attitude that is related with God. And I know, on the other side, some physics professors that are secular and they don't believe at all in God. Okay? They believe their attitude, their approach is only with a closed world of the nature. They never went out from this nature to see God. So we know that the best thing or the main thing is what is your attitude. And this is where men have a bit more knowledge, consciousness than the animals. So the attitude have a very important role in this world. Okay? Something here is just a moment bothering me, just a moment. Okay, let's continue on. Okay? And this is where God is saying to us, I'm asking you to eat everything. The question is, on what side, when you're eating it, on what side exactly, when you're putting in this knowledge, this life thing, not life, so this knowledge you're putting inside yourself, are you looking on this as a tree of knowledge? And the knowledge side is something very, like the mathematics, like the physics, like everything else, very closed. Or you're looking on this, or you're finding through the knowledge that you're learning, you're finding the connection with me, connection of life. It's the same tree. The question is the attitude of men. Starting to understand what's happening here? I will give an example, okay? Let me give an example. Example is very simple. For everything, we have a tool, instrument, and we have the content, okay? We call this the tool and the light. So let's go, for example, very simple, you can see how things are changing their place through the attitude that we have in our mind, nothing else. For example, let's look here. We have from one side a glass, a cup, this is the tool, and we have the water. The water is the light, because this is where we're putting, the water is the main thing that we have the glass for that. Let's continue on, let's go another stage. The next stage is that when someone is drinking the water, someone that is thirsty, so the water is only the tool for the human body. The human body suddenly is becoming the main content, the main substance, the main light of this water. So the water changed here from one place to another. Let's continue on. Let's go, for example, the human body. If we look at this, vice versa to the human will, so the human body is only a tool, an instrument, and the content, the light, is a human will. Look how things are moving, from one place to another, only through our conscience, our attitudes, the way that we're looking at things. God is asking us, listen good, God is asking us, eat from all of the trees of life, of the garden. Learn everything in this world. But do this with the right attitude. If you will do this with the attitude of a tool, instrument, only learning, knowledge, so it's forbidden. But if you will do this on the way of learning life, connecting with God, putting the values inside, this is where it's starting to be the light. This is what's happening here. This is exactly. Now, this is also the difference between the tree itself and the fruits. The tree is only the tool bringing us to the fruits. Okay? Why I'm saying this? Because God is saying to us not to eat from what? From the tree of knowledge. Okay? He's not saying us not to eat from the fruit of knowledge. More than that, God is saying to us, eat from everything. So if you will take from the tree of life, you will take the fruit, okay? You will take the main thing, and you will eat this first, and then you will eat the tree of knowledge. It will be okay, because then you will have more knowledge, and you will know how to use the tools that you're getting and accepting inside yourself in the right way, because you have already the base of the right values, of the right content, of the right light that you put inside yourself. But if you eat first from the tree, from the tool, and then you're trying to catch up all sorts of a bit of fruit, a bit of the main thing, this is where you're losing everything. And this is also what happened. If we will look inside to the exact verses, we will see that the woman, Eva, she ate from the fruits. And when she gave her husband, Adam, he ate from the tree. And this is why I'm saying all the time that when you're looking inside to the verses, you will see that Adam was kicked out from Eden, but Eva was never kicked out from Eden because she ate it correctly. So you're asking yourself, so why do we have here women? Because we men, we have no way, no possibility of managing to live here without the women. So they did us favor and they also came here. But look at the verses, at the end of chapter 3, you will see that we never see that Eva was kicked out from Eden. They said, "Oh, we have no choice. Let's help them. They're a bit disabled, those men. So let's help them a bit." This is what happened, and this is where, when you're asking yourself, "Okay, I need to learn all the knowledge of life, all the knowledge of this world, to eat from all the trees from this world." Fair enough. Let's eat from them. Do I eat it? Do I eat this knowledge as a tool without any connection with God who gave life to this thing? Or do I learn those things through the connection with God and understand the values that God is giving us here? Is it all the library that we see, all the books that we see, all the knowledge that there is in this world? By the way, in 1984, this was the year that the knowledge doubled itself twice amount through the internet. And since then, the knowledge is spread all over the world. Now, the question is, what is my attitude to the knowledge that I'm learning? It's like a tree, only a tool, only an instrument, or it's more than that. It's the light, it's the fruit. It's the way that I can find the values, the connection with God, and go a bit higher than just learning more knowledge. Now let's go back and learn a bit what exactly, when we asked in the beginning, if you remember, all of you, that we have four stages, and we asked what is the highest stage. Now let's answer what exactly is the highest stage. So please, again, Scotty, please read the verse on the left side.
And the Lord God formed man of dust from the ground, and he breathed into his nostrils the soul of life, and man became a living soul.
if we will see, we have here two parts: the part of the body, dust of ground, and the part of the soul. And this living soul, let's read for a moment the commentary Rashi. Please read the Rashi on the right side. Living soul.
A living soul. Cattle and beasts were also called living souls, but this one of man is the most alive of them all, because he was additionally given intelligence and speech.
Okay, this is very important. The living souls, we say also about cattle and beasts, but they don't have the intelligence. The intelligence is also giving us the attitude. The intelligence is giving us the possibility to combine with our actions exactly why and how we're doing things. And the speech is the possibility of discussing. By the way, first of most, is to discuss with God things, and then also to discuss among us, not only to do actions without explanations about things. And this is where man is standing. And this is also why God is obeying man, what to do, what he needs to do in this life. This is why man is asking himself all the time, so what is the purpose of my life? And God answered, learn everything here in this world. And by this way also knowledge me, okay, with your intelligence, and do things with the right purpose in life and also with the right attitude. And if you will do this in the wrong way, you will die. But you need to eat everything, but do this in the right way. Okay, now we're starting to see, and this is the highest level. The highest level is that not only man is intelligent, but also men have the possibility to speak with God. What we said in the beginning, the prophecy. And this is where we're saying the tree of knowledge and the tree of life is the same tree. The question is the attitude that we have. This is one of the hidden secrets, I will say, of the Hebrew nation, how to learn those chapters that are not really speaking about what's happening here in this world, because it's speaking about heaven. But it also still, it has a very important message, how to live correctly in our world, because we do connect. You know, in the Romans, in the ancient Rome, one of the things that the judging people, we don't care what you thought. The only thing that we can judge is your actions. Until today, most of the judgment structure in our world is through this understanding. The Hebrew nation, when you look in the Bible, always also asks, what was your intention? Did you did it on purpose? You did it without purpose? You did it by accidentally? And there's a difference between the levels of the punishment in related to the relationship that there is between your thoughts and your attitudes and your actions. And we are learning this already here in this chapter. This is the way how to live correctly in this life. Just a moment, I'm going backwards. I want to show you this also, okay? We said there, the tree of knowledge, good and evil, you shall not eat from it, okay? And what God is commanding before that, eat from everything. So basically what he's saying to us, eat first of all from the tree of life, take the right values, and then you can also eat from all of the trees, also from the tree of good and evil, tree of knowledge, what we say, okay? No, I'm going back. Just a moment. We saw all of this. So I don't know what it is. Okay, I explained everything. I'm stopping the share. Okay, we're going back. Okay, question till here. Okay, everybody. Hi, good to see now everybody. Now we can see everybody. Before that, because I shared the screen, I didn't see everybody. Question. Do anyone have any questions? Yes, Angelica. Yes.
If the animals have a soul, are they in the world to come? Are they there too?
Good question. I'm not God to answer that. I don't know. No, they don't have they don't have soul like men. They don't have also the acknowledgement that men have, and they don't have the possibility, I would say, to really to decide between good and evil. So therefore, they don't have the world to come. Okay. This is with the animals. Okay.
Thank you.
Not a problem. Okay, more questions that people have.
So, Rabbi Goldberg, thank you so much for this class. I just want to clarify for my own mind, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. So it really depends on the position of why you are eating and how you are eating, either the tree of the knowledge or the tree of the life.
Exactly. You concluded it very, very, you nailed it, I will say. It is very, very related, and how you do it, and what is your purpose of doing those things. And I will say another thing that it's also being mentioned in the verses. Basically, what God is saying to us, first of all, eat from the tree of life. What is the meaning of this? First of all, learn or be connected with God and put the right values in yourself. This is life. And the right values are related to the values of God that He is putting here in this world. After that, you can eat everything, because what will happen if you will do the thing in the opposite way? You will bring to yourself a lot of tools, because only knowledge is only tools. You bring a lot of tools, but you don't know, you won't have the right way of using them, because you don't have the right values. Then you might die. What is the meaning of die? You won't know how to live. After all, we want to live here in the right way. So first of all, I will say it, in the Hebrew language, we can say this like that. First of all, go and learn in the yeshiva. Yeshiva is where you're learning all the values of the Bible, and then go to learn in the university. Now, I must mention another thing. I didn't look for this film. There's a very interesting film that one of the secular people is complaining that until the 19th century, all of the universities were connected to churches. Okay? Now, what is the meaning of this thing? That everybody who learned until the 19th century, until the secular world came to this world, everybody who learned any knowledge was supposed also to learn from the church all sorts of values. Now, I'm not going inside the values were the best values, there were wrong values, and everything else. They were supposed to learn also some values of life. Today, this secular person said, there's a problem, because if you're going, for example, to Harvard, one of the biggest and most important universities that you have in this world, University of Harvard, and you're saying to them, but I want really to learn what is the moral behavior in this thing, in that thing. They will look at you and they will say to you, you came to Harvard, right? So if you want to learn about moral, it's probably you're a bit not in the right place. Maybe you need to go to a dumb place. You're not in the right place, because in Harvard we're teaching only mathematics and physics and also those things. We're not teaching values. And this secular person said, we have lost all the values of life. And this is exactly one of the most important things that we're learning here. Before you're starting to learn, as God says, eat from all of the trees of life. Learn everything here in this world. I built up this world in a very smart way. But before that, take a step of learning the values, learn the life, learn the connection with me, God. And if you're losing this, I will say, steps, how to do that, you're losing everything. So this is also a very important thing. It's not only the attitude, but it's also the steps. What is first and what is second.
So,
Okay.
so can I, if you eat it from the position of the tree of life, you will gain knowledge of how to live. But if you eat it from the position of the knowledge, it won't give you life. Did I say that correctly?
Exactly. Exactly. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. Right.
Rabbi, I have a
Yes.
question.
Yeah, of course. This is what we
Yeah,
hear.
suppose that Adam and Eve didn't eat from the tree, from that tree. Are they supposed to die like animals, or are they supposed to live forever in the garden?
If they didn't eat from it, they were supposed to live forever in the Garden of Eden. And they did us a very big favor. They ate from it, and this is why we are alive.
Okay. And another question is, it's a lot of Christians is asking me this, and I don't really know how to answer it. But a lot of Christians are wondering, if God didn't like us to eat from that tree, why did He put it there in the first place? That's
okay. So we're going. No, very good question. We're going very good question. Thank you for that. We're going back to things that we said a few times in the previous meetings. Okay, God. This is the way to look on things in, we call this in the marshmallow exam. You know, when you're taking people in the garden, in the kindergarten, and you putting them to, you know, and you're putting a marshmallow in front of them and saying to them, don't eat from this marshmallow. And another 5 minutes, I will give you 2. So most of the kids will eat from the marshmallow. We all know this thing. And when you look on this and you think that God is trying to have some sort of a debate with man, so you're saying to yourself, come on, God is trying to do bad things for us. But we already explained, God is putting here us in this world and trying that we will, his best to have a partnership with someone. And now we've learned the exact thing that happened there. God gave us the way and the knowledge how to learn in the right way. And he said to us, eat with the right attitude, first of all, from the tree of life, with a connection with me, and then eat from all of the kindergarten, you know, from the tree of knowledge. So basically, it's not some sort of a debate between God and us. God gave us the exact explanation what to do. Now, Adam and Eve, they messed it up. I won't go inside now for what happened there. They messed it up. So God said to them, okay, so let's try in a different place. Go to this world, and let's try here in a different atmosphere to fix up things. Okay? But it's not because God is, you know, playing with us like the marshmallow for the kindergarten.
Rabbi?
Yes. Yes, Peter.
What does Eden represent? A heavenly kingdom on earth?
I didn't understand exactly your question, sorry.
Okay. If there was like a heaven on earth, does Eden represent heaven on earth?
Eden is something that is related to heaven. Okay, first of all, Eden itself is something that's related to heaven. Here in this world, we have some sort of, I will say, the exact word will be some sort of a spark, some sort of a
sentience.
Of Eden.
Yeah.
In the land of Israel, when the Hebrew people are here in Israel, and there is also prophecy. Okay, this is where we're starting to see some sort of a relationship like in Eden, because what is happening there in Eden, Adam and Eve are walking with God, and when they're doing their sin, they're hiding from God. They are very ashamed from God, like we spoke last week. Here in Israel, when the Hebrew nation is sitting in Israel, and we have also the prophecy, and we mentioned last week that we had for in 1200 years, more than 600,000 prophets in Israel, in this land. When you see a prophet, you see someone that is walking with God in this world. So the Hebrew land, the Israel land, when the Hebrew people are here and we have the prophecy, we have some sort of a spark that is mentioning us what is happening in Eden. And basically, now we're starting also to understand why there are so many people today who are fighting that the Hebrew people won't come to their homeland and saying to us all the time, you know, you captured this from the Arab people and everything else, and go away, because people are a bit against, you know, not to,
Yeah.
it's hard. Okay, so I answered you for that also.
Is this the light of the nations? Is this why you're classed as
This
the
is
light of
also
the
part.
nations?
This is also part of the light of the nation. Exactly. Yes.
Ah, right. Okay. Brilliant.
And this is also why we're all waiting. So we will build up the temple, and we will have also the prophecy. We are,
Yeah.
and then it also says that at these days everybody will come, but it's okay because today we see already the beginning of this, and all of you also that are sitting here in this room, and not only you, because thank God, you know, you can ask Yakobi that is here with us. You can raise up your hand. From India, okay. We have a lot of communities in India. We have communities in Russia. We have communities in Europe. Where is Samantha and Matas also? We have communities in Africa. We have communities in the United States. We have people. So, and all of us together are starting to smell, I will say, that it's coming here in this world.
Yeah.
And this is where we're coming together.
Brilliant.
Rabbi, excuse me, can I ask a question not from the topic?
You can ask. I will tell all of you that when Matas is asking a question, especially if it's not from the topic, the week after that I need to give another big lesson to explain everything. Okay, yes, Matas, go on. But please, let's show us your face, you know.
Okay.
Okay, good to see you. Yes.
Okay, so I have this question. You know, I'm reading a weekly parashot every week, as is on Jewish calendar, and in Parashat Kedoshim in Leviticus book, 19 chapter, 34 verse states, "The proselyte who dwells with you shall be like a native among you, and you shall love him like yourself, for you were aliens in the land of Egypt. I am Hashem your God." And the question is, commentary about this verse is as follows: "And you shall love him." Aside from the commandment to love all Jews, proselytes included, there is a special commandment to love proselytes. God himself has a special love for proselytes. What is the special love of God for proselytes? My question is, if I can get an answer for that.
I will give you a short answer. Okay. Thank you for this question. The main thing is to understand that God created this world and created everybody in this world, and he doesn't love only the Hebrew people. And this is one of the biggest mistakes that people think in all sorts of ways. Okay, God loves, he is giving soul, and he loves everybody. Okay, and you can't say only that he loves only the people, the Hebrew people, and or those people or that people. This is one of the most important things that the Hebrew nation is saying, opposed to all of the nation, all of the things that we know. The only nation that said almost 4,000 years ago that we all came from one person, Adam, and also his wife came from this person, was the Jewish people. All of the rest of the nations said that they were the first people in this land, and all of the rest came after them, from them. And all of the nations said that. All of the Hebrew people said, we all came from one person. More than that, if you look in the Bible, the Hebrew nation is coming to the history only in chapter 12. Until chapter 12, we don't have the Hebrew people at all. By the way, it's not true. It's chapter 10 already. It's mentioned there, but I won't go inside to this. But it's chapter 10 already, but only chapter 10 starts. The Bible is starting with Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve is your father and my father, even though we are in a different nation. And then it's continuing on with Noah. Noah is your father and my father, even though we're in a different nation. And this is basically what God is saying. We need to respect and to love everybody, and especially if he is righteoushood and he's acting in the right way. We can't say, oh, okay, but we, the Hebrew nation, we are the best, think you can't. And this is one of the things that the Bible is teaching us clearly, surely, but all the time, repeating this all the time. And I think that also this is one of the main things that happened in the last 10 years since we're starting to go out, I will say, group of rabbis. I'm on the English side, but we are a group of rabbis in other languages also. And Rabbi Sherki is leading us with this thing. And last week, 3 weeks ago, we showed also how much the chief rabbis of Israel and the chief rabbi of Jerusalem and the others, not only respecting, but they are very excited that we're doing this. And this is exactly what we're trying to show. It's not that the Hebrew nation is, something that is one step ahead or something like that. God loves everybody. Okay? So very simple, very clear answer.
Could I ask one more question, Rabbi?
Yes. You can ask, and there's something also that I want to ask from people here. So in a moment, yes.
I'll do it real quick on the concept of Eden. That may give us a little more understanding of the relationship. Eden in the position above and below, or was it just one or the other? It was above and we came down, or it was below and we came out?
It was above. It was in a different, I will say, different realm, different, how do you call it?
Plane?
Dimension. It was in a different dimension, okay? And when God decided to kick us out from there, okay, to kick Adam and Eve, so he put us to a body, and this is also written down very nice and clear, and he brought us down to this world, okay? But it's a different dimension. It's a dimension. What are we saying when someone is dying, okay? When grandpa is dying, we're saying to the kids, he went to heaven. The body is here, but the soul went to heaven. So there is a different dimension. Now we know in the last 80 years, we have more and more evidence that people, when they are dying, we have people that died and came back, in the first, a few minutes. And then they're starting to say that they were outside the body, they saw everything, they didn't manage to connect with people here. So we understand that there is something in another level, in another dimension. Last week I said it in the thing of the TV, for example, okay? We know that we have here all sorts of, it's a different, the TV is still on the dimension of the world, but it's still, we can have an example of something. We have here the radio wave of the TV, okay? But we need to have the specific TV to see it, okay? So we need to have the machine on the same level, okay? So we have here some sort of another dimension of the souls. And we have the body, the TV body, okay, that is showing us or giving us the opportunity to bring this soul to action in this world. And this is where we're connecting back to the things that we spoke, because everything that person is doing here must have also connection with his conscience, with his soul, with his mind, with his words, with his action. Everything. We are one person. We are not divided to, it's not that you can say one thing and think another thing and never mind what will happen. No. So you're a hypocrite. It's not working like that. It's not working like that. I have good to see you, Jack, also. I have a question. Not a question. It's not a question. I want a favor. Okay. I gave to you an access to the Brit Shalom. And I saw that a few of you went inside, looked on it and everything else. Now, this week we're going to put it in another level, and we're starting to sell it. We want to sell it to people around the world. The English one, we already, as I said already, that we managed also to do translation to Russian, to French, to other languages. And one of the things that will help us to expose it out to people. And I want, if it's okay, that all of you that, I want to ask Angelica, to ask you, Scotty, to ask you, Peter, to ask you, Anna, or to ask you, Slovik also, if you can say really 2-3 sentences, not more than that, between 20 to 40 seconds. And I want to record that. And you'll say, my name is Slovik. I saw this Brit Shalom. This book gave me this and this, or this book, when I read this book, I feel this and this, or something like that. I will record those things that you're saying, and I will use it as some sort of testimonials. Why? To encourage people to go inside to this Brit Shalom. Okay? This is something that my request, if it's okay, to do something like that. So for that, what we need to do, just a moment, let me see. I'm recording, so just how do we going to do that? So that okay. Who is starting? Scotty, are you starting? It's okay that you will start. You will say a few words.
Yes, I so much.
No, just you need to start. My name is Scotty Helton. I'm from this and this, and then say a few words. Yes.
My name is Scotty Helton. I am from Tennessee in the United States, and the Brit Shalom prayer book gave me more a foundation of prayer, that I would have a greater connection between me and Hashem. And that's what it meant to me. So much of a connection.
Thank you very much. You're speaking about the Brit Shalom. It's not the prayer book, it's the Shulchan Aruch book.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yes.
Okay, fine. Thank you very much. Okay. Who else is saying? Peter, do you want to say? It's okay, you'll say. But I need you to go, to put the camera a bit higher so we will see your face. So now we see half of your face, and exactly, yes, okay. But you need to open, you need also to open your microphone. Okay, unmute, okay. Come on.
I'm Pete from UK, and I'd just like to say how fantastic the Brit Shalom prayer courses. It's been wonderful, and it's given me a sort of a great how can I say it, spiritual attachment that I can see and understand Hashem.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Okay, who else? Tony, is it okay? Angelica, okay, thank you. Yes, Angelica, please.
Hi, I'm from Canada, and my name is Angelica, and the Brit Shalom book is an awesome book. It is so simple. I didn't have to reread it. I just, very simple, and it gave me much knowledge, something that I did not know before. And yeah, it's something that everyone would want to read. And because it's so simply said, it's awesome.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Tony, can you say something also? You said to me before, but I didn't never, caught you in the screen. Okay.
My name's Tony. I'm from Arizona in the U.S. I enjoyed this book. To me, it really added substance to what we're studying and learning, and a way to apply it to life. So that's my take.
Thank you very much. Salovi, do you want to say something? Oh, it's too much. It's okay. We lost you. It's okay. Yes, Timothy, you want to say, but you need to open the mic.
My name is Timothy Klein, and I'm from Halifax, Nova Scotia. The Brit Shalom book has really helped me, especially the Gates of Learning and the blessings and stuff. It's really changed my life.
Thank you very much. Okay. Anyone else? Jaco, do you want to say something? For South Africa, it's interesting. You came late today, but it's okay. Okay, you will manage to see that.
I haven't read the book yet.
Okay. Not a problem at all. Okay. Anna, you want to say something?
I haven't read it yet, Rabbi.
Not a problem. It's okay. It's okay. Fair enough. It's okay. Thank you very much. Do you have any more questions or something? Because we have another 2 minutes, 3 minutes. If not, it's okay. Yes.
Rabbi, I also would like to say something about Brit Shalom, if you don't mind.
Of course you can say. Yeah. He's. By the way, it's a bit hard to see you. If you can move a bit because of the window. The window, exactly. Netzach. Yes, I must also say you all need to know that Netzach is translating the Brit Shalom from English to Czech. How do you call it? The Czech Republic today, right?
The Czech Republic and Czech language.
Czech language. So, thank you very much for that. Okay.
So my name is Netzach or Vítězslav, and I'm from the Czech Republic. I have read the book already like 2 times roughly, and I have started translating it already. What I especially like about it is the fact that it presents a variety of opinions. It does not just say that this is the only way to do the things. It's clear about the fact that there are differences between the sages of Israel, and that's personally what I very much appreciate about it. And also it has a broad variety of references where it's written in a simple way, but if you really want to study deeper, there are a lot of references where you can go to and study more deeply these things. Those would be 2 things that I mainly appreciate about the Brit Shalom. I have also been reading the Divine Code, which is also very, very nicely written book, and I prefer the Brit Shalom because it's more simpler. So as an introduction or as a beginning, and I personally like combining those two let's say Shulchan Aruchs for Noahides that are here currently. So that would be my take on
it. Okay, thank you very, very much. Tony, I understand that there is that you having a very difficult time in those days, right? So let me also pray here and ask, for everybody that God will give all of you strength for all of this hard situation that you got, and that God will return back to you and give you not only strength, but also give you new life in the next generations on behalf of what you lost. It's very hard. We are with you. Okay, Tony? For this, thank you very much. Any more questions or notes? Someone wants to say?
Can I give a comment here?
Yeah, of course.
This is Moshe and Adassa Goldberg from Israel, very close to Rabbi Chaim. We have been in contact.
They're my parents. For those who didn't understand that.
We have been in contact with Rav Sharkey and Brit Olam for many years, and we have been very inspired to meet people, B'nai Noach, and the way they get close to God and to the Jewish people. And I know how much of an effort has gone in to writing and preparing Brit Shalom, and I think it's a fantastic job.
I will say another word. Thank you very much, Abba, Father. I will say another word that you will all know, that it took Rabbi Sherky almost 7 years to write down this book. 7 years. And it's not by coincidence that the chief rabbis of Israel and the chief rabbi of Jerusalem, the chief rabbi of Tzfat, and we have another almost 20 very important rabbis in Israel that wrote to him acknowledgement and notes about the things, and we put all of this also inside the book. And yesterday we got the last few notes from very, very important rabbis, and it's a lot of acknowledgement from all of the rabbinical side in Israel, so it's very important. Okay, people, thank you very much for today. It was pleasant to see you all, and great to see you all. Next week, Dan is coming back also, and we will continue on, and we're going inside. So a lot of encourage that I'm sending you, Tony, and I'm going to send you also the certificate that we spoke about, and see you all hopefully next week. Thank you very, very much. Bye, everybody.
Happy Mother's Day to all.
Bye, Rabbi.
Bye.
Bye.
Shavua Tov.
Shavua Tov, Shavua Tov.